So here we are live once again. Good evening, folks. Mobile Geezer here with Friday Night Tech Talk. And glad to have you aboard. Friday Night Tech Talk. Here's my phone doing what it always does. So I hope everybody's had a good Friday, with Easter being on Sunday. And if you're here and you're in the chat, please say hello and let me know about it. Vince is here. Yo, Vince, glad to have you here, brother. Eleanor was first again. She wished everybody a good Easter weekend. So I don't know who else is here, but if it's your first time here, welcome. And we do this every Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time from the U.S. And here's Miss E is here also. So now we've got 3. That's good. Anybody else coming aboard, let me know. We didn't have Renz last week because Philippines was having a holiday. I guess he was out partying. If I know him, he's probably just getting to work or on his way to work, and he usually pops in pretty soon. So hope everybody's had a good week. I've had a very good week, and I've had a very busy week, and I'm messing with some tech. Should have a little unboxing for you, hopefully by tomorrow, and then another little surprise. But so I'm going to get to tonight's stories. First, as I always do, I'm going to show you where you can follow the show notes, which is on my website. So I'm going to share that screen. So if you go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, the first story has today's date. Click on that. Has all the stories for this week. So, of course, we're starting once again with Mr. Musk because he's the hot one in the tech news this week. So I'm going to click on that. This story I put up yesterday. I put it on the website yesterday. So we'll go through this. We're going through this word by word. And then I'll give you an update what happened about, well, the story that I found was less than an hour ago. So first of all, of course, I'm sure you've all heard about it because it's hard to avoid it. Musk makes $43 billion offer for Twitter to build an arena for free speech. So that's by Greg Romoliotis. I think I got it right the second time. So let's take it into reader view so we can get rid of some of those ads. So yesterday, billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk took aim at Twitter with a $43 billion cash offer on Thursday, with the Tesla CEO saying the social media company needs to be taken private to grow and become a platform for free speech. I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech. Musk, already San Francisco-based second largest shareholder, said at a TED Talk in Vancouver when asked about his bid. While I was working today, when I was driving, I actually listened to that TED Talk, the entire interview, and yeah, he's pretty passionate about free speech. He really seems to think everybody should be heard no matter what their view, of course, within legal bounds. But anyway, if you get a chance to listen to that TED Talks, it's pretty good, worth listening to. He's very passionate about free speech. I didn't realize how much so. Musk made the bid on Wednesday in a letter to the board of Twitter, the microblogging platform that has become a global means of communication for individuals and world leaders. And it was made public in a regulatory filing on Thursday. His offer price at $54.20 per share represents a 38% premium to Twitter's April 1st close, the last trading day before his 9.1 stake in the social media platform was made public. Now, I kept saying 9.2. I don't know. Vanguard, I think once he hit that 9.2 and became the biggest shareholder, Vanguard, I gather, re-upped because they were number 3 at that point. And I gather they passed him and pushed him back down to number 2. I just heard that on a newscast, I think, yesterday. So, Vanguard and BlackRock, they own practically everything in the world. So they're not going to be number 2. Musk, the world's richest person with a $273.6 billion fortune, according to a Forbes tally, rejected an invitation to join Twitter's board on Saturday after disclosing his stake. A move, analysts said, signaled his takeover intentions, as a board seat would have limited his shareholding to just under 15%. That's true. After his TED Talk, Musk hinted at the possibility of a hostile bid in which he would bypass Twitter's board and put the offer directly to its shareholders, tweeting, "It would be utterly indefensible not to put this offer to a shareholder vote." We're going to follow up with another story, so you'll see how that went. So I'm sure you've heard all about it. Now, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Wahid bin Talal tweeted from his verified account about the deal, describing himself as one of the largest and long-term shareholders of Twitter. He said Musk's offer undervalued the company and he rejected it. Now, even though his offer was quite a bit above what it was currently trading at, you'll see in the next story that the prince is probably right about it being undervalued. Musk, for his part, told Twitter it was his best and final offer, and he would reconsider his investment if the board rejects it, which it has. You'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so I don't think we need to go through all of this. Oh, and as always, if none of the other guys join, then it'll be a short show, of course. Interestingly, Trump was asked if he would want to return, and he said he probably wouldn't have any interest in returning to Twitter, where he had more than 88 million followers. That surprised me. I thought he would. Blah, blah, blah. So there's not a whole lot here I'm sure you haven't already heard. So I'm going to stop sharing this story and go on to the next one because that is much more updated. So, of course, I didn't have this story in the show notes. Like I said, it just came out about just about an hour ago now. So I'm going to share that screen. Let me stop this screen. And let me go to share. This is getting interesting. I guess it's going to be somewhat of an interesting fight going on here. So, make this bigger. Okay. Twitter counters a Musk takeover with a time-tested barrier. The company is intent on fending off the billionaire's bid to buy it in a deal that could be worth more than $40 billion. So I'm going to go over to reader view. Okay. Twitter does not want to become a plaything of the world's richest person. So on Friday, it turned to a tried and tested corporate defense mechanism invented in the 1980s, the heyday of the corporate raider, to block a potential takeover attempt by Elon Musk and buy its board some time. The mechanism, known as a poison pill, has a simple intention: to make it less palatable for a potential buyer to pursue the target company if the buyer accumulates shares above a certain threshold. In Twitter's case, if Mr. Musk bought more than 15% of the company, Twitter would flood the market with new stock that all shareholders except Mr. Musk could buy at a discounted price. That would immediately dilute Mr. Musk's stake and make it significantly more expensive for him to buy the company. Mr. Musk currently owns a little more than 9% of Twitter's stock. Twitter said its plan would be in place for just shy of 1 year. The tool would not stop the company from holding talks with any potential buyer and will give it more time to negotiate a deal that Twitter's board believes best reflects the company's value. The strategy does not mean that the company is going to be independent forever, said Drew Pascarella, a senior lecturer of finance at Cornell University. It just means that they can effectively fend off Elon. Twitter is weighing whether to invite bids from others. Two people close to the company said. Should it decide to court buyers, Silver Lake, a private equity firm that already owns a significant stake in Twitter, could be a possibility, the people said. Silver Lake, a technology-focused buyout fund, has more than $90 billion in assets under management, and the managing partner there, Egon Durbin, sits on Twitter's board, which I thought was hilarious. So they're either going to go with Elon or Egon. That's just very coincidental to me. Silver Lake has come to Twitter's rescue before. In 2020, when Elliott Management, an activist investor, amassed shares in Twitter and wanted it to make changes, Silver Lake helped the parties reach a compromise. As part of the deal, Silver Lake invested $1 billion in Twitter. But Silver Lake also agreed at the time not to acquire more than 5% of the company, so Twitter would have to waive that so-called standstill agreement before it could entertain any offer from Silver Lake. It's also not clear whether Silver Lake, which has its own history with Mr. Musk, having worked on his unsuccessful effort to take Tesla private, will offer a deal or has the financing necessary to do so on its own. So they've worked for both sides. Silver Lake declined to comment. That's what I guess he meant to write. At least one other private equity firm, Thoma Bravo, I guess, is weighing a possible offer for Twitter, Reuters reported, and a person familiar with Thoma Bravo confirmed. Poison pills have been around for decades. The lawyer, Martin Lipton, a founding partner of Wachtell, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz, invented the maneuver, also called a shareholder rights plan, in 1982. It was a way to shore up a company's defenses against unwarranted takeovers by so-called corporate leaders like Carl Icahn and T. Boone Pickens. I remember T. Boone Pickens was buying all kinds of companies back in the 80s, even ran for president once. They have since become part of the corporate toolkit in America. Netflix adopted a poison pill in 2012 to stop Mr. Icahn from buying up its shares. Papa John's used one against the pizza chain's founder and chairman, John Schnatter, in 2018. Oh, Google is talking to me. Investors rarely try to get around the poison pill by buying shares beyond the threshold set by the company, according to securities experts. One said it would be financially ruinous even for Mr. Musk. That makes sense. But Mr. Musk, who is worth more than $250 billion and is the chief executive of Tesla and SpaceX, rarely abides by precedent. He announced his intention to acquire Twitter on Thursday, making public an unsolicited bid worth more than $40 billion. In an interview at a TED conference later that day, he took issue with Twitter's moderation policies, which govern the content shared on the platform. Twitter is the de facto town square, Mr. Musk said, adding that it's really important that people have the reality and the perception that they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. Twitter currently bans many types of content, including spam, threats of violence, the sharing of private information, and coordinated disinformation campaigns. Mr. Musk argued that taking Twitter private would allow more free speech to flow on the platform. My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. He sees this as a big deal affecting all of us. He also insisted that the algorithm Twitter uses to rank its content, deciding what hundreds of millions of users see on the service every day, should be public for users to audit. Mr. Musk's concerns are shared by many executives at Twitter who has also pressed for more transparency about its algorithms. The company has published internal research about bias and its algorithms and funded an effort to create an open, transparent standard for social media services. Didn't know that. On Friday, Twitter said its board, which includes Jack Dorsey, a co-founder of Twitter who is friendly with Mr. Musk, voted unanimously to approve the shareholder rights plan. Twitter is working with two Wall Street banks, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase. People familiar with the matter said as it weighs its options. Mr. Musk is working with Morgan Stanley. So I don't have to read the rest, but you get the drift. They don't want to be taken over by him, and that's going to be that. So now in that TED Talks interview, the guy asked him, is there a plan B if they reject your offer? And Elon said, yes, there is. And the guy asked him, could I ask you what it is? He said, we'll save that for the future. So what his plan B is, I have no idea. But I don't think we've heard the last of this, folks. So I just thought I should get in with the hot story of the week. And Brian just came in. Hey, Brian, glad to have you here, brother. Just run over the Elon Musk and Twitter stuff. You can check it out in the show notes. But I just pulled up a story that I found just before I started broadcasting. And Twitter has come up with a poison pill to block Elon's attempt to buy the company. So it's going to get really interesting, is my guess. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that. Let me see. Okay. So go on to the next story. And as I did last week, and I guess I'll continue doing whenever I have these type of stories, I intentionally made this story second, figuring that a few more people would be in here. And this one is kind of urgent, I think. Hey, Alan's in here from Jersey City. Phone tech at work. Yo, Alan, glad to have you here, brother. Yeah, he said Jersey in the building. Yeah. Yeah, Jersey's well represented. I'm here, even though I'm in Tennessee. Eleanor is watching. So we've got Hudson County, New Jersey covered pretty well, I'd say. Okay, another warning for phone users. And this one I thought was kind of serious, so I wanted to make sure I showed up. Probably put this up over the weekend as a separate little video just because in case somebody didn't see it. The one I did last week, when I put it up separate, somebody did thank me a couple of days later because they hadn't updated theirs. So I'm going to share screen, and this is just for Galaxy users. So if you don't have a Galaxy phone, and if it's before a Galaxy S9, you're probably okay. But you'll see it in the story. This was on The Sun. Call for help. Urgent warning for millions of Samsung Galaxy users. Now get this, as pre-installed app could let a hacker take control of your phone. because it's actually in the phone app, which kind of surprised me. But let's take it into review, get rid of some of these ads. Okay, millions of owners of the Samsung Galaxy smartphone face a security threat. Those with Android version 9 through 12 are at risk. So, of course, all my phones are on Android 12. Eleanor's is too. So you just have to have the right security patch, which you'll see in a minute. Some Samsung smartphone users have been at risk of a security attack. Researchers at CryptoWire published a report detailing how they discovered a serious vulnerability in the pre-installed phone app. That's what I found surprising. Across multiple models that could enable a hacker to take control of someone's phone, Forbes reported. The control could include a factory reset, making calls, and both installing and deleting apps. So if somebody could factory reset your phone, well, they could be in and you could be locked out of it. So that's why I thought it was important. Any unauthorized user could gain this type of access if the victim installed any third-party app that was altered to mimic the system-level activity and hijack critical protective functionality, according to the CryptoWire report. The phone app comes installed on all Samsung smartphones. It was found to have an insecure component that gives apps without system privileges the ability to perform those privileges anyway without user operation. So they don't have system privileges, but they can act like they do. So that's why I thought it was important. The full extent to which the smartphones were vulnerable to this attack is unknown, but researchers were able to test a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus and Samsung A10e during the compromised testing. A Samsung Galaxy S8 running Android 8 was found not to be vulnerable. The bad news is anyone with about any Samsung smartphone running Android version 9 and onwards is likely to have been vulnerable to the attack. The good news, and this is really good news, all you should do is update it, is a patch was made as part of the February 2022 security maintenance release program for its reported. So all you have to do is make sure you have the February security patch or above. I'm on the March one right now on at least all of my phones. As long as the device has been updated, showing the security patch level of February or later, the owner is protected. That's why I thought it was important. Just if you haven't updated and you're previous to February 1st, update your phone. Not everyone will have updated or have been able to do so, so it's important to check if the device needs an update. Yeah, because I'm sitting here with 4 Samsung phones right now. This information is available in the phone's settings app. The Sun reached out to Samsung for comment. Samsung smartphone users are protected from the security threat if their phone has been updated with security patch in February or later. So I guess Samsung didn't respond to them, or at least they hadn't printed anything that they responded to them. So just check any Galaxy phone. If you have the S9, S10, 11, S9, S10, 20, or 21 or 22, just make sure your security patch is February this year or going forward. Then you should be good. So I just thought it was important for everybody. Brian, thank you as always, sir. You're always so faithful. I appreciate that. And Miss Lisa had no idea of this. That's the point of doing these kind of stories. Whenever I find them, I think it's important for me to let people know about them. I guess if you don't have a Galaxy phone, you're okay, but this is specifically in the phone app. That's why I found it amazing. It's in Samsung's phone app. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Like I said, I'll probably put this out as a separate video either tomorrow or Sunday. Pardon me. And I think I have another story that I may include along in that video. But Going on to the next story. This one I found on Android Authority. So I'm going to share. And this was just for your information type of thing. But I thought it was interesting, and especially Android Authority, who we all have a lot of respect for. Daily Authority DIY fix deception. Why self-repair isn't all that. So let me put this in reader view. And this is a very short story, but I just thought it was interesting. Self-repair or self-preservation. Last week came the news that Google is joining Apple and Samsung and announcing a self-repair program for Pixels, which I reported on that. And I reported on the Samsung one when it came out and the Apple one when it came out. But this is interesting. So, sort of. Apple's announcement on the 17th of November 2021 hasn't led to anything yet. It's been about a half a year since it was announced, but that doesn't mean you can buy parts to fix an iPhone yourself. The Google situation, more of the same. Google self-repair is a long way from self-repair. It doesn't have a name or an explicit release date, though at least we know where it will be active, which is basically anywhere a pixel is sold. And it's with iFixit. It's topical for me because my sister has had a Google Pixel 4a 5G like me for about 14 months. But while mine had been pretty solid, hers started having charging issues and randomly turned itself off until it died. A repair shop in Australia told her that a pin on the motherboard somehow connected the charging port, causing the phone not to turn on, which sounds unusual at best. But the perfect thing to fix yourself, right? It sure sounds like it. Anyway, my colleague, Matt Milano, who joined us in the last few weeks, points out that Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, and Google aren't doing this to help you fix your phone. They're doing it because it's more about self-preservation than customer service. Quotes from Matt. Microsoft announced it would begin investigating self-repair options, followed by Apple in 2021, Samsung in March 2022, and Google in early April. In the case of Microsoft, it was responding to pressure from shareholder advocacy group As You Sow. Interestingly, despite acquiescing to pressure, Microsoft has only committed to publishing the findings of its investigation by early May 2022, next month, with the goal of making self-repair options available by the end of the year. Similarly, neither Samsung, Apple, nor Google has committed to specific release dates. So we were all cheering that they're going to give us self-repair. Well, maybe not so. I guess we were too fast. Pardon me. Taken together, these various factors paint a picture of companies being reluctantly forced to embrace self-repair or making the decision in an effort to head off legislation that could be far stricter than they would like and force significant design changes to their products in order to comply. Either way, it's clear that these efforts are not being made out of any real concern for customers or the environment. Too true. It may well be a good thing, but this announcement, followed by months of waiting, shows us that none of these companies are very serious about self-repair. Yeah, I guess not. And it's somewhat of a shame that iFixit is involved in the marketing loop. I really like iFixit, but it shouldn't be part of this sometime soon, maybe we'll tell you, we promise game. So I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, they're all talking, but it doesn't sound like any of them are going to be doing anything to give us, help us get the self-repair anytime soon. So, pardon me for a quick drink. It's one of those, I got something caught in my throat. I have no idea what. As long as it's not a bug, I guess I'm good. I get that when I'm bicycle riding. Okay, moving on. This is another interesting story I found on Phone Arena. So I'll share screen here. And phonearena.com. A full suite of 4 new Google Pixel phones leaks by Daniel Petroff. And he's one of their big writers. Let's jump into reader view. The FCC certification database spat out not 1 or 2 Pixel phone model numbers, but a full set of 4, leaving us wondering about its 2022 plans going forward. At the Google I/O conference in May, we are expecting the mid-range Pixel 6a, while in the fall, Google could be announcing the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. Just like last year, it issued the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro in November. The 4th model number, however, is more mysterious. The FCC logged the GX7AS, GB17, or GB17, G1AZG, and GB62Z phones. Reports go Android. And they're listed. They'd all sport 5G, LTE, Wi-Fi 6E, or Bluetooth, which are a staple of modern phones, even the potential budget 6A. Before we go on a tangent here and envision that the Google Pixel Fold might be among these 4 model numbers, which of course we're all thinking that's got to be it, but hoping, I guess. As it is rumored to finally appear in 2022 after being put on the back burner last year, let's remember that when the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro hit the FCC, they carried no less than 6 model numbers with them. I'm not going to name them all. But yeah, they had 6 model numbers for 2 phones, according to the different carriers they appeared on. So they're tying those numbers to carriers. And this might be the case with the 2022 Pixel phones as well. On another note, there was a rumor that Google will try to pull the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro announcement for earlier in the year, rather than release them way after the new iPhones have hit the shelves. I think that's a good move. Still, we doubt that Google will announce the 7 series together with the Pixel 6a at the I/O Expo. I agree. I don't think they're going to announce them next month. But it can certainly tease them as it was teasing the 6 series the whole of last summer. And they have this, and this picture, and I did not see those numbers that they mentioned in here, so I'm not sure what that was, but obviously this is something on the FCC, and it gives, of course, all the bands. So interesting that, are they going to give us the Pixel Fold or not? Interesting that they had that extra one in there, so I just thought I should share it with you guys. So stopping the screen. Yeah, we're going to be done good and early tonight. And here's another one about hacking. And this is about hacking groups. So I don't see any immediate threat to us. And this is more aimed at governments and corporate, but I just thought it was a story that I should include. So sharing screen. And this was on ZDNet. These 10 hacking groups have been targeting critical infrastructure and energy. Hacking operations targeting industrial systems, but I still think it's good for us to know. And hopefully people in industry are paying attention, which power critical systems are getting bolder. That's not good for anyone. So read a view. Electricity, oil and gas, and other critical infrastructure vital to our everyday lives is increasingly at risk from cyber attackers who know that successfully compromising industrial control systems and operation technology can enable them to disrupt or tamper with vital services. A report from cybersecurity company Dragos details 10 different hacking operations which are known to have actively targeted industrial systems in North America and Europe, and it's warned that this activity is likely to grow in the next 12 months. The list includes several state-backed hacking operations such as Electrum, also known as Sandworm, which is linked to the Russian military, Covalite, which is linked to North Korea's Lazarus Group, and Vanadinite, which is linked to APT-41, a hacking operation working on behalf of China. So they're hitting us from all sides. Well, they're hitting a lot of people from all sides, not just America. As more critical infrastructure is connected to the internet or accessible to staff by remote desktop protocols and VPNs, it's increasingly becoming a target for nation-state-backed hackers and cyber criminal gangs interested in breaching and examining OT networks to lay the groundwork for future campaigns. Yeah, gather a lot of this is about coming back in the future. A lot of this is increasing the appetite to be in those places, typically from state-sponsored operations where they want capability where they could have an impact in the future. Magpie Graham, principal adversary hunter and technical director at Dragos, told ZDNet. After hackers enter industrial networks, it's unlikely to have an immediate impact on the systems controlling operation processes because it could take years for attackers to understand everything. But it's laying the foundations for this for the future. The campaigns being tracked by Dragos have a variety of aims. Some are around stealing information, or there could potentially be plans to cause disruption. For example, cyber criminals looking to launch ransomware attacks. Here, we're getting more about those. The nature of operational technology and reliance on older software, and that's key, folks. As a programmer for 34 years, I can tell you, you need to keep your software up to date. Older software and protocols means any evidence of compromise can be missed, providing hackers with ample time to move around, understand, and gain control of networks. Yeah, because I shared stories last week or the week before about the Google hack, Apple hack, and in both cases, they were there for months before they even knew because their software needed to catch up. I don't think he wrote this right. It's this what researchers describe as the biggest cybersecurity weaknesses facing industrial networks, because without having a full picture of what needs to be protected from cyber attacks, in other words, keeping your software updated, it's not possible to fully defend networks from hackers. Cybersecurity weaknesses in industrial networks aren't necessarily new, but as more threat groups become interested in infiltrating them, it could lead to significant problems. Yeah, I've always said the hackers are at least as smart as the people making the software to protect you. The also paper warns that activity, I guess it should say the paper also warns that activity related to cyber attacks targeting industrial infrastructure has been observed since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and Western cybersecurity agencies have issued warnings on the need to protect networks from attacks. In addition to having a good understanding of what's on the network, many standard cybersecurity practices can help secure OT networks. These include applying security updates to patch known vulnerabilities in software and applying multi-factor authentication wherever possible. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's hoped that by drawing attention to the hacking groups, campaigns, and the rest of the industrial sector, that organizations involved will heed the warnings, yeah, that's key, and apply the necessary protections to protect themselves from cyber espionage. Yeah, because the government can't protect anybody. It's up to these companies to protect themselves. Disruptive attacks and other potential cybersecurity threats. It can work in a more positive light where we have seen these attacks. It can work just a reminder for organizations to protect themselves. According to Dragos, now here's the list. The most active threat groups targeting critical infrastructure are Parasite. They go after aerospace, utilities, oil and gas in Europe, Middle East, and North America. Linked to Iran. Xenotime, a group targeting oil and gas companies in Europe, the United States, and Australia, linked to Russia. Magnalium, a group initially targeted oil and gas and aircraft companies in Saudi Arabia, which has expanded to Europe and targeted to Europe and North America. It's thought to be related to APT-33, state-sponsored Iranian hacking group. Dimolloy, a group which targets electric utilities, oil and gas, and other advanced industrial entities across Europe, Turkey, and North America. Described as highly aggressive, Dimolloy looks for a long-term persistence in networks and is thought to be linked to Russia. Electrum, group capable of developing malware that can modify and control OC procedures. That's pretty dangerous. And Dragos researchers say this operation was responsible for Crash Override, also known as Indestroyer, a malware attack on Ukraine's power grid in December 2016. So these people have been around a while. Electrum is associated with Sandworm, an offensive hacking operation that's part of Russia's GRU military intelligence agency. Allanite, a group which targets enterprise and OT networks in the UK and US electricity sectors, as well as German industrial infrastructure, and uses access to conduct reconnaissance on networks to potentially stage future disrupted networks. So in other words, they're going in and investigating. It's believed Allanite is linked to Russia. Now, here he says Crucine, but over here it's Crysense. So I guess it's Crysense. Active since at least 2017, this group has targeted industrial organizations in Europe and Middle East, mainly conducts intelligence gathering operations to potentially facilitate further attacks. Crysense is suspected to be linked to Iran, so another Iranian one. Comosite, a group, has been active since 2014 and believed to be responsible for cyber attacks against Ukrainian power facilities in 2015 and 2016. Again, linked to Sandworm. Covalite targeted utilities in Europe, US, and East Asia using malicious attachments in phishing emails. The group is thought to be linked to the Lazarus Group, a state-backed hacking group working out of North Korea. And then Vandenite, a hacking group target external-facing vulnerable software in industrial organizations around the world. It's thought to be linked to APT-41, a state-sponsored Chinese hacking. So that's the list of the organizations, but I just hope our in the industry is paying attention to these things. And obviously they know that these people are out there, and hopefully they're be protecting us and Germany and all these places that they're going after. So I just thought that was a good story to put up there. And this one I just thought was interesting. And of course, this could affect all of us because it's dealing with Amazon. I'm going to share screen. And I guess we all have sense enough to make sure we read the reviews, but this kind of cements that thought. Oh, wait a minute, let me stop screen and share screen again. Okay. All right, and this was on Tech Radar. Trying to buy a this is a guy, they put the picture of the lady there, but trying to buy a micro SD card proved to me that Amazon is becoming a scammer's paradise. Forget Moss Isley, Amazon is now a hive of scum and villainy. So I just thought it was interesting because I'm probably like me, you probably buy from Amazon all the time. I do. Last weekend, I attempted to buy a micro SD card for my Steam Deck from Amazon. Okay, that's not the most interesting start to a story you've probably read, but what should have been a quick and easy search and purchase instead turned into a rather demoralizing experience, and one which made me realize how bad the situation with scam products on Amazon has become. I've bought plenty of things on Amazon before and usually hate myself for it. But the situation with micro SD cards really shocked me. When you search for micro SD cards, the results mix cards from well-known brands with unbranded cards that have prices and capacities that seem to be too good to be true, and sadly are. Usually, if you're buying storage such as micro SD or a solid state drive for your PC, you should invest in a well-known and trustworthy brand. However, as I was looking for a micro SD card that would just hold some games, and with Steam Deck not supporting the fastest micro SD speeds, I clicked on a few of the unbranded options first. The biggest initial red flag with these products is that they're drastically cheaper than other cards. A 128 gigabyte SanDisk micro SD card would go for around 25 to 50 pounds, between $30 and $65. But these unbranded cards cost a lot less. Another big warning was the fact that some of these cards were promising 1 terabyte of storage for the same price as a 64 gigabyte card. Yeah, that can't be true. This obviously doesn't make much sense, and even taking into account that you pay extra for a well-known brand. Also, 1 terabyte micro SD cards are rare. Only a few manufacturers make them, mainly because it's difficult to fit so much capacity into a small card. This means that legitimate 1 terabyte micro SD cards are very expensive, usually around $200, which is around 10 times the amount the suspect 1 terabyte cards were going for. So lesson 1, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is, so proceed with caution. And here's an example. 1024 micro SD card, $26.99. Now, you know that's not true. If a deal looks too good to be true, like the one above, then it could be a scam. Reviews to the rescue. Usually this kind of price discrepancy would be enough for me to close my wallet and run, but I was intrigued to know how retailers were able to sell these micro SDs so cheaply. Rather naively, I assumed that they were offering the capacities that were advertised. After all, there were lots of them, and some were even showing up as sponsored results. Surely Amazon wouldn't allow such blatant false advertising. How wrong I was. One of the good things about buying from Amazon is that buyers are able to leave reviews. And while not all the micro SD cards had reviews, another big red flag, many of them did. I was expecting poor reviews because maybe the micro SD cards weren't particularly fast or reliable, which would explain their cheap price. Yeah, and that's the other reason I wouldn't buy the off-brand ones, because you're looking for the right speed with them. However, to my horror and amazement, reviewers reported that these were indeed complete scams, and that the micro SD cards they had received didn't offer the capacities that were advertised. I was shocked, as I hadn't realized how easy it clearly is to sell fake products. Mike is in here. Yo, Mike.
Hi there. I'm here to disturb and interrupt.
Well, good. You do a good job of that. So
I know.
We have faith in you.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. All right. Hello to the chat. Hello to everybody here. George, how you been doing?
I'm doing extremely well.
I'm trying to get a better angle of me.
I've got new phones. I've got new tech.
Yeah. I see that. I saw something about a Moto phone.
Yeah, I've got the Moto Edge Plus, but I'll probably finally get my little unboxing up tomorrow. And I've got a little surprise tech too, but I'll probably let you guys know about that on Sunday. Anyway, let me just finish this story.
Sure.
It's about scam SD cards on Amazon. Lesson 2, always read customer reviews. These are great ways to find out if a product is what it's claimed to be. If a product has no reviews, avoid it. I agree. Amazon has another related issue here with fake reviews, and that's what you got to worry about, the fake reviews, boosting the scores of certain products. But in this case, the legitimate reviews warn me off wasting my money. And my guess is, yeah, they could put up fake reviews, but you're not going to find a whole lot of those. But if something's really bad, you're going to find a lot of those. So if you see a lot of good reviews, I would think you're okay. Anyway, that's how I work. All right, how does the scam work? The reviews didn't go into detail about these scams, so I did a bit of digging myself. It looks like what's happening is that this is slick. Real micro SD cards are sent out, but with much smaller capacities than what are advertised. However, the cards are formatted in a way that makes the device you insert it into think the card has the capacity the scammer claims. And this is where it gets bad. As some of our readers have pointed out, this is done using custom firmware that makes the micro SD card appear to have larger capacity than it actually has. So your computer or whatever it is thinks it does. And this also means the data is deleted on the micro SD card if you go over the real capacity. So if you save photo or some important document on there thinking, okay, I'm good to go, there's lots of room, it's going to overwrite it. And now you have lost that photo or document. So that's pretty tacky. People who have bought the micro SD card may not know that anything is amiss until they try to access the file they saved on the card and find that their files are either corrupted or missing completely. And that's the thing. Once victims realize they've been scammed, they invariably find that they can't contact the seller to ask for a refund. Yeah, because they're long gone. Amazon needs to fix this. The situation is pretty awful, and it's not a good look for Amazon. You're supposed to be able to buy in confidence from the site, but the sheer size of the online store seems to have allowed unscrupulous sellers to con unsuspecting buyers. I was lucky because I knew what to look out for, but there will be many people who may think these products are legitimate. To make matters worse, some of these fake products are highlighted as sponsored. Yeah, you would think you could trust those. Again, giving the impression that they're legitimate and highlighting just how emboldened scammers have become. Amazon's well-known issues with false reviews can also make it hard to know what to buy. Since last weekend, I've searched again. I thought this was smart for him to go back a week later for phony micro SD cards, and many have disappeared. While this may seem like Amazon is moving against the sellers, new fake micro SD card listings have appeared, this time without the many negative reviews that warn me off buying others. So these people are slick. Amazon needs to do something about this, and quickly, as it's certainly harming its reputation. In the end, I bought a micro SD card from a known brand in a different retailer so I could be sure it was legitimate. If Amazon doesn't crack down these scams, then it could lose even more sales in the future. We contacted Amazon, which gave us the following statement. We work hard every day to protect our sellers and help them grow their business. Bad actors that attempt to abuse our systems make up a tiny fraction of activity on our site. That's probably true, but how do you know? We use sophisticated tools, including machine learning, to combat them, and we are making it increasingly difficult for bad actors to hide. Good. We block bad actors before they reach our site, well, not all of them, and we work with sellers and law enforcement to hold them accountable by withholding funds and pursuing civil and criminal penalties. These bad actors show a flagrant disregard for our community, our policies, and in some cases the law, and do not reflect the flourishing community of honest entrepreneurs that make up the vast majority of our sales. And I'm sure that's true. Anyway, just thought it was an interesting story. So I agree. Read the reviews. If you got a lot of good reviews, my guess is you're good to go. So tell us, Mike, what's been happening with you? I know you had been sick.
Yes.
So
yes.
Are you all better now?
I'm much better. I'm much better. Let's see. I don't know. Was my grandson born? My second grandson was born.
Yes, yeah. We saw the pictures.
Yeah. My second grandson was born. Yeah. Nothing else big going on. Just Easter, going to get with mom, and that's about it. Yeah, the sickness thing kind of
like it really took you down.
Yeah, I mean, I was functioning. I was going to work, but it just outside of that, I just went to work when I could. I mean, I took a day and a half off.
Okay,
that was the peak. That was the bad. But it just took some mojo out.
Okay,
and I don't have. I'll announce it here. I don't have. I don't have a video for tomorrow.
Okay.
as I was hoping to. But
You did get one up last week, right?
yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. I wanted to try and get back on the horse again, as they say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I got one shot.
everybody's saying hello. There's
Oh,
Brian.
yes, I see. I see.
There's Eleanor.
Eleanor
There's
had
Miss E.
Brian,
Yep.
Miss E. I see.
You know,
Hi, how
you're
you
missed.
doing? And Miss E, by the way, I kind of again getting off the horse. I don't know. I switched phones and I was switching phones again, and I'm like, I didn't even bother log into Snapchat. So I got to get back on that because that was something I was trying to learn and trying to do more with. So
I know you're on Twitter, so I think
yeah, Twitter is my bag. I don't, and you know what, Elon, if he buys it, oh well, I ain't leaving it. Nothing on Twitter that's got me to the point where like I left Facebook and Instagram and Zuckerberg and all that.
My impression is if he bought it, it would be more open, and those of us who are already there would be fine. And at the same time, just before I got on the air, I showed them the story. I didn't have it in the show notes. Well, Twitter has already moved to block him from buying them. So.
Yeah. I saw some of that going on.
Hey, Will's in here.
Let me tell you, talk about things going on. So I made Will's day.
Okay.
And I announced to Will that there was one less Android person in the world.
Somebody came over to his dark side. Oh, Days
yeah. My nephew Liam, he broke his Pixel. Well, he broke the Pixel 2 XL. He's destroyed the screen to the point you couldn't get into the phone.
Okay.
So I know his mother was wanting to get him to the that side, and but I mean, I get it. He's going to be 13. Parental controls. I hear everybody talk. I know Will's made conversation about that too.
Right.
So I get that part, and so here's the crazy thing that she did. She went out and she took her iPhone 8 to Apple, got a battery put in it for $50, which is pretty crazy. You think about it, getting a brand new fresh battery right from the manufacturer.
That's not bad for $50.
No. And she always was buying the most. She may not have bought always the top tier as far as storage, but she always got way extra.
Okay.
So that phone might be a 256 for all we know. Okay. So he has that. She got an iPhone 13 Pro Max. She got it on a deal.
She got the big dog.
Yeah, she went all out. Yeah, which was crazy because that's something because she liked the. I remember going back and forth telling her this phone that about the iPhones, and she kind of always stuck with that form factor, and she really went big.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so I know Will, man. I told Will, my God, he to the point he was just going text message after text, and then he loved every minute of it. He loved every minute.
Here's Miss E's comment on it. Mm-hmm. Coming to the dark side of
we have cookies. Yeah. So that was interesting. And the funny thing, I was messaging him, talking to him about it, and I said, what's your thoughts? He only had it for a few apps. He's probably played with it before, but his comment to me, and as mind you, he's a 12 going on 13. His comment was, I can reach across the screen with my thumb.
Oh yeah, because the pixel's
bigger. And I was like, wow. He that for somebody like that, he did to I don't know.
Pleases him is a good
thing.
Thing.
Yeah. It was just an interesting. I didn't expect that from him. I expected it's nicer. Well, I mean, something not like that. Okay. So
cool.
So I want to also I'll announce to everybody. Beans Will's here. I'm going to embarrass him. Do you know that Will graduated, or should I say he got? Yeah, he's done school.
Well, congratulations, Will. We're all very happy.
So we could have if there was a way to have, confetti and fireworks,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I knew how to do that, I would.
Yeah, yeah,
We knew
good to
you. We knew you could do it, Will.
yeah,
Trust me.
yeah. There were times, I mean, I thought he was done. I thought he
Well,
was
he was
just
beating himself up, but every
yeah,
time he thought he didn't, he didn't do well in the test, he
yeah, I
ended up
know.
passing the test. So
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, that's about it. I mean, if we're talking about he killed it. Yeah, he did. He did good. He got a good score and all.
and
So,
we knew you would, brother. We knew you would.
if we're talking about other things, I kept the Z Flip.
Okay, I was just going to ask you.
I've decided to keep the Z Flip.
I can't give it. This thing is too much fun, man. This thing is
No,
way too much fun.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's unique.
yeah, I know. I know. I just for all the shenanigans, like I said, it hurt me. It hurt me to know that I could have sold the phone for $420, and which hurt in a bad way because I mean, oh my God, would have lost so much money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
I felt I would have lost a lot of money. And then, yeah, I owe you a burger. Yes, sir. I do owe you a burger.
Good for you, Will.
Yes, you got it, man. We'll be. We got to get together. We got to get together. So, what was the other thing about the phones? The trade-ins were good. The trade-ins were good,
Right.
but it's the initial still have to cough up more money. I think that was the thing. I could have gotten an S22 and traded in the Z Flip and then gotten paid another $150 for it. And I'm like, oh, man. And then I hear all these.
Stage one kept his Flip also. Yeah, Flip's so hard to let go of, man.
And the whole thing is me getting the Flip, other than being a folding flip phone, was I wanted I just wanted to have the Snapdragon 888 with me, and then having the Pixel 6, so I have those two chipsets always.
Exactly.
I mean, and all the stuff that goes on. I constantly talk about, and I know I'm a broken record. I just can't afford right now. I would get a OnePlus phone. Like
I have no interest in getting OnePlus ever since the OnePlus 7 Pro.
Well, I see it now. That's for the software. Right. That's all we have to work with in Android. You know what I mean? I know Will. I can hear Will all the way over here. He's probably in that direction, and I can hear him from all the way over there going, "We don't have that problem in Apple."
Well, go see some gadget guy's latest video. He just put it up, and it's on this phone.
Yeah. I saw that.
Moto Edge Plus. I haven't seen it yet, but it was because of watching him and TK on their weekly show. They were raving about it, and I ordered it before they were off the air and told them so. So, but I just think, look at that thing move around in the light. I love that. It's a beautiful thing. But TK was broadcasting from, I guess him and his family were in Disneyland, and we didn't know it until he told us. But what he was using for his camera was that phone, and boy, it was a beautiful picture. I think Will's in here.
No.
Who is in here?
I don't know. Hold on. No, I don't see.
It's got to be Will or Mark Ted, and it's not showing me who it is.
Not even saying their name.
No.
See, it's probably.
It is.
See,
I said
wait a minute.
Will.
Yeah, Will. Hold on, Will. Yeah. Look, it doesn't have it doesn't even have his face. His Apple phone broke StreamYard already.
No, I put the little Apple logo there. It might not show on StreamYard.
No, it's not showing here.
Little black Apple logo.
So are you working today?
Yeah, I'm at work.
Okay.
Every day. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, we're so proud of you and happy for you, and we all knew you had it in you.
Yeah. You know, I came on because I got to tell Mike to stop switching from Samsung to Samsung.
Yeah, I've
Get what
got
he get
right
what he
now.
really
I'm
needs.
sitting here right now with 1, 2, 3 Samsung phones right in front of me.
So wait, real quick, George, your first well, what's your impressions of the Moto phone?
Oh, I think it's awesome so far. You know, I'm going to
Yeah.
try to get it out this weekend and take a few pictures and a little video. But so far, I love this thing. So, but and I want to say about the flip phone, because it's so easy to stick in your pocket. And the days that I go to work, the 3 days a week that I go to work, I take my SIM card out of my Moto, and before it was my S22 Plus, and I stick it in my flip. That's the phone I use at work all day.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, I imagine to some degree you're using that flip phone for more than just phone calls. Because are you using it for work purposes too? A little bit,
Yeah.
you know, like
When I go to work, that's the phone that's my main phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just easy because I'm jumping in and out of cars all day, and it's easy to just stick that in my pocket and keep going. You know, easier than other phones.
Yeah.
And of course,
Okay.
I still get I'm at a branch delivering a car or something, and I'll flip the phone open, and then there'll be some customer. Ooh, that is cool. What is that? You know.
Right. Yeah, and then the other thing that I'm intrigued by is what the difference between the Pixels OS and Samsung and what they're going to be doing for the next few years. So
yeah, I think Samsung. Well, who was it? Sam Mobile. They put out a article last week. I didn't use it, but it said if you want updates on Android via Samsung, and I think they're right at this point. Samsung is pretty much doing it better than anybody else.
Meanwhile, Will with his iPhone 13 Max Pro Ultra Super Duty will be getting he'll be getting updates all the way up to the time my son Gabriel, my grandson, graduate high school, and he's only in third grade now, or second grade, something like that. Yeah,
close to it, Mike. Close to
it. Yeah.
So
Meanwhile,
Days one is waiting for 13 beta. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about me having like 3 Samsung phones. I'll put the beta on one of them. We'll see which one.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Just go get a Pro Max. Just stop playing.
Hey, I still have my 12
your
Pro.
Video, so Mike, your video. You pretty much you said it without saying it.
That's cold, man. That's cold.
He's giving up, George.
You're making fun of the brother's video.
No, he's giving up. I love the video.
Oh, okay.
I'm not giving up. What are you talking about? All I was thinking about was switching, but I just couldn't.
How much money you were gonna lose on it?
Oh yeah, the money I was gonna lose. That's what I was just saying.
And you were just like,
see, George,
why
see this?
Am I doing this?
This is what happened a few days ago when I told him about Liam getting on Apple. Man, he was all juiced up, just like this.
Mike, that's basically what you were saying. Why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian says Samsung Pixel with Pixel on up. I agree. I agree.
Mike, did you see the tweet? I forget the guy's name. He posted on there that Google doesn't care about selling phones.
Yeah, I saw that. I knew you enjoyed that one.
Whose tweet was that?
I forget the guy's name. But that's always Google's excuse when they don't sell a lot of phones. They don't care. So stop making the phone. Just market your camera. That's all. Just market the camera software. License it to Samsung.
It gets more people into the ecosystem. And if you watch any NBA basketball games, you're going to see a Pixel commercial. Yeah.
Oh, you see more. I've been seeing Pixel commercials too. If you're talking about that, other than basketball games, it's definitely showing up on prime time.
I said this was going to be the phone where they started really advertising.
It's not that they don't care about selling the phone, because if they didn't care, they would have it like the Nexus. They want to sell the phone. It's a difference between not caring and you don't have to sell the phone. They care about selling the phone.
Yeah, but you're right. They don't have to, but I think it's more about getting people into the ecosystem.
Yeah, Yeah, but George, they care about selling it because otherwise they can market it for $500. I mean, sell it for
That's
five
true.
hundred dollars and not market it at all. And
That,
they would save the same money. They're
that's true.
spending
But
all that money to get the basketball guy, what's his name, Giannis, whatever his name is, him marketing the phone. They got the other guy doing the phone. They had Will Smith advertising the phone. They
yeah,
want to sell the phone,
Will Smith
but
was
every
doing it.
year, yeah, a couple of years ago, with like the
he
Pixel 3.
won't be doing it
Every
now. I
Oh,
guarantee you
okay.
yeah,
that.
now he can't do it.
No,
But
I know.
every year there's something wrong with it. Every year. Look, this year the
Yeah.
phone came out and the stupid thing didn't get the update. Was it 2 months late? Like
No. The biggest problem this year was the fingerprint
fingerprint
sensor.
scanner
It
isn't
was
that
a pain
great.
in
It
the
was
butt
okay. It
until
was passable though.
until March. It was
It
a
was
pain in the
it
butt.
was good enough for me when I had it.
Yeah.
They
Dave's
were good
saying
enough.
Dave's is saying he sees more pixels in the wild.
Well, that's great. That's great. I mean, they're great phones now, especially. Even MKBHD just went back to one.
Well, no, he went back.
He found a
He
lot
went
of
back.
problems.
He probably went back to the Ultra.
No, he re-reviewed the Pixel.
Yeah, I know,
Everybody
but
said
he
was too
it
hard.
sounded like he did. I thought he was going back to the Ultra.
I didn't
Of
watch it
course he
yet.
did. Because if you I mean, I don't know. Google is like, and I like the Pixel phones, but it's like the best thing to get is a Samsung. Why even waste your money?
I agree.
You know, I just don't think the fingerprint sensor was the big problem. I personally feel the thing
It was for me and Eleanor both.
well, it's the updates and all the brouhaha over the different updates and how certain updates broke certain things.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When they did an update, it broke something else.
Broke something else,
But see,
or
that
you know,
didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to Eleanor. It didn't happen to Jay Will. It didn't happen to most people. It didn't happen to my Project 13 either. You know.
So, Mike, let me ask you.
mm-hmm.
Since I don't know which Android version it was, but you know the first Pixel I had and loved that one. Second one, third one I even liked. Right, fourth one I was okay. Battery sucked, but like you said with the updates, that was always my thing. Like I was happy to get the updates first. So how do you feel? You have a Pixel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel since the updates are so small now? Like there's not this big change we just had, but the next update is probably going to be so small. Like, do you even feel like it's worth? Because you know, I told you, you're just a beta tester when you get a Pixel. So, wouldn't you rather just buy a Samsung? Because you're still getting your updates. Like at this point, what's the point? Because
The updates. Well, wait.
They're going to make to the software is so small now.
The
Like,
updates
the
that the small ones
so
are coming out are just patches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
no,
getting.
but
They
I'm
have
saying
the
is-
future drops
No,
that
but
have
Mike,
really
listen.
been doing pretty
Yeah.
good.
Come on,
Mike,
They're
you know
future
what
drops.
Listen,
Mike,
the
you know
last
what he
wasn't
reminded
the
me
last.
of when he said, "Wouldn't you read? Do you old enough to remember? Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?"
Oh my god.
Wasn't the
Yeah, Will's
I
not
can't
old
remember.
enough to remember that.
No.
Wasn't the last feature drop something related to Snapchat? Like, come on,
Mm-hmm.
they're reaching. Like they don't even have.
Well, they had
else to
that.
put
I
now.
think I can. All right, now you got me
They're
googling
calling
it.
that
Yeah,
a
they
feature drop.
made a deal with
Snapchat,
Snapchat,
though.
right?
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
no
they did.
feature drop. What if you don't use Snapchat? Then it's pointless.
I stopped using Snapchat 3
So-
years ago because I didn't like
Yeah,
it, but
see?
I used it
So
for a
that-
year.
So
But
that
Mike
feature
still
drop
uses
was pointless. I don't know. It's just like to me
Mike,
with Samsung.
Mike
with
is
Samsung,
checking things out for us.
with Samsung updating so good now, it's kind of like they lost their appeal. Like,
What's
Yeah.
Dave saying? I get Pixel for my modding, and I haven't been able to get the same battery on any of my Samsungs as I get with the Pixel 6. Okay, so he's doing better with the Pixel 6 battery.
yeah.
And I haven't had
Don't
any
worry,
battery
George.
issues with the Pixel 6 Pro, so.
Mike is coming over. Don't worry. He's coming. He's coming.
Here we go. Here we go.
He does
Slowly
what
but
I do.
surely.
He uses both ecosystems. So do I.
Slowly but surely, he'll be.
Well, the last future drop, guys. I want to ask. I mean, somebody in the chat might say too. They're saying the March future drop coincides with and is built on Android 12L or 12.1. More
Okay.
details on that on what's new with Android. So did we get a 12.1 update? Is that
Mike, they put it out on the Pixel 5. It's coming to your phone in June.
I gotta go check. I'll be right back.
okay?
Let me go grab my
Well,
Pixel.
now,
Yes.
well, anyway, see, then they say the battery widget came out. More at a glance features. Night sight and Snapchat plus custom Gboard stickers.
Oh, can't live without those Gboard stickers.
But I'm guilty for not really diving into. Okay, the Future Drop had live caption for calls, night sight and Snapchat, live translate in an ES and IT. I don't know what that means.
Yes, and I'm getting it.
Let's see, battery widget, custom text stickers, at a glance, call wait times,
104.
direct my call, and March wallpaper collection.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody was making a big deal about the wallpapers.
Here we go. I'm looking at Android 12L. I'm reading what Dave's saying, but you don't really take. Okay. Then.
You don't really take advantage of it unless you run a 600 DPI or higher to get tapped. Yeah, that's what L was for. Look at Renz. Renz snuck in here and didn't say a word and gave me. Thank you, Renz, as always. I knew you had to be there.
My man shot some nice pictures. Rez shot a nice picture. He looks like he was on the beach.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
From his Google Pixel. Will, did you? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
There you go, Renz. There's Missy with her nickname for you, Renz a Million.
Renz a Million.
That's what she calls him.
So the answer, getting back to the thing with Will was, Will, you there?
I think got quiet. I think he's working. I heard him answering.
Yeah, he's at work. Anyway,
I'm looking at my. I have.
And you know what? I'm guilty.
I'm on the April 5th security update, I don't know. And yeah, I'm on April 5th security, March 1st play system. So
I call myself a tech person. I don't even think I even looked into any of those feature drops. That's pretty bad of me.
The last story I read about this latest feature drop, I wasn't particularly impressed with anything. The last feature drop before that was 3 months ago. That I thought was a bigger deal, but they were still trying to fix the fingerprint then.
Right. Let's see. Updated. Yeah, but doesn't tell you what version it is.
Renz, thank you as always. Glad to have you in here, brother. I was starting to miss you. So, and Mike, just because you have a flip. One of the stories, when you go through the stories, did you see the story about update your Galaxy? If you
I seen something before.
Okay, just make sure your Galaxy, because the S9, S10, 20, 21, and 22. If you don't have the February or later patch, you've got a real vulnerability inside the Samsung phone app.
Well, wait a minute. How I update everyone that comes across? How you skip those?
So no, you. But some people just don't update. But I'm.
Just saying. No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because they said if February on, you're good to go. So then you're good. Okay.
I got my last.
Miss E said neither did she. She said she didn't know about it until I put that story up.
Oh yeah. I got my last security update patch for my S10 today.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's right. I did read something about that.
S10, and now S10 will be the rest for a year of quarterly, and then after that, it'll be done.
Well, that's pretty good, I think, don't you?
I can't, now, and going back to my video was like going, man, I put down the S10 and use my flip as a work phone.
Right.
And man, just having that candy bar style for what I do was different,
He's
so
back. Mike, that's what I liked about your video. So wait a minute. You bought the flip phone And I think I told you this when you bought it. That I told you it was going to be a pain to have to keep opening it.
No, it's quite the reverse.
Okay.
That's the biggest fun part of the phone.
Come on, Mike. What did you say?
You know, when I recorded that video, I kept on hearing your voice ringing in my ear. Thank you very much.
So you don't like the flip part of it, Mike?
No, I don't mind the flip part of it, but as a work phone, it was
annoying.
I love
it. Was more. It was not annoying, but yeah, it was not practical.
So you wonder why Apple doesn't do it, because it's not practical. You got to keep opening your phone. It's annoying.
You know, as a regular phone for, you know, day in and day out, that's one thing. But to, you know, I'm taking phone calls on my phone.
Okay.
And I, you don't want to have those conversations, you know, because you could answer it from the outside on the cover screen, but the whole world will hear what's the conversation about.
Yeah, but you don't find it super easy to just flip it open?
I'm afraid I've tried to flip it that way, and I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
said you didn't like the idea.
Well, it was just because I felt like it was going to fly on my hand, even with the case I have.
I have the same case. I have never had this thing flip out of my hand when I flip it open. And I do it all the time. Yeah.
And, you know, and that's the other thing too, is some things you read in and you go, is it true? Is it going to happen to me? No, it ain't going to. You know, you read the horror stories about the people having.
Well, see, that's the difference. You've got this fear in your head about it, and I'm the opposite. And I've never had it flip out of my hand.
Not flip out of my hand, but the cracking right down the center where the crease is.
Oh, I was showing it to Eleanor's daughter day before yesterday, and she was like, "Oh, you don't even hardly notice the crease."
No, you can't notice the crease, but how many more times am I adding the, you know, because it was rated for so many openings.
Yeah, like you know what I mean, 200,000 or 300,000. I don't think you have to worry.
Well, I mean, I mean, if I was intending on keeping the phone as a work phone, that I'm still flipping that bad boy a lot open.
Oh yeah, but you're never going to get to that many because you'll buy 3 or 4 phones at cent before that happens.
Nah. I'm trying not to, George. The whole idea is to live the life on this device. You know what I mean? And so,
if I were you, I would never get rid of the flip ever.
No, you know, and I just and Beans were here talking, and I was fortunate enough first I got an A52 from work to set up for a coworker.
Yeah, I sold my A52 to Don in Texas. Well, now he's in Oklahoma.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
did you? Yeah,
he loves it.
It's a great phone. I think it's a really.
I sold him the LG 8 also, and then that's the second phone he bought for me. He loves them both. Yeah.
You know, see, Dave's saying, yeah, I think you can flip it for at least 3 to 5 years. Really?
I agree.
I'm still tempted to put it back as a work line because the other thing was I was having all kinds of little nuance issues. And the biggest one was I listened to music and I didn't have the music player. Now, I know for a fact that I was on the beta and I didn't do the thing. The thing I didn't do was factory reset it. I just let Android 12 come over. The beta told you, hey, you got regular stable Android 12. Now we're going to take this beta away from you and be done.
Okay.
And I think that caused some of my issues. Now I do admit the flip seems snappier since I did a reset on it.
Right.
You know,
I didn't have the issue because the only beta I had been on was the 4A, and I traded that in when I bought the flip.
Well, yeah. I felt it was the software because you're dealing with Samsung software versus the beta that was on the Google side. So,
yes, right. Right now, I have the Galaxy S22 Plus. I have the flip, and I have I have one more. I have 3 Samsung phones right now, and 2 Pixel phones, and of course my Moto is the newest phone. So I'm pretty happy, and I have my iPhone 12 Pro.
George, maybe you can answer. George, can you answer this question? What's the deal with the Moto phone? Is it going to get more than one OS update?
Yes, they're promising, the 3 and 4, like we'll see what happens, but that's
They're
what they're
promising 3 or 4 updates.
Yo,
They're
listening to
promising
Motorola.
the 4. They're promising the 4 security, 3 yearly.
3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security patches.
That's what they're saying.
Wow.
We'll
George, can we
see.
bet?
Wow.
We'll
George,
see.
I bet you $10.
But because I have such a high respect for TK and Juan Bagnell, the way they talked about the phone, I just instantly bought the phone. So
Dang.
when they were broadcasting, TK, one said something about what a nice guy I was, and TK actually said, "Yeah, I like George. I miss him coming to events," which I thought was really nice because I've seen him at like 3 events over the years.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta check out that show that they do. That looks like fun. That one they do.
Oh yeah, and they give you
I
some
forget
good
the name of it right now.
Of course,
But
those two guys are very knowledgeable because they've both been in the business
oh yeah,
years.
I know. So
You gonna get that Moto phone?
Who,
me?
me?
I got the Moto Edge Plus.
I know you have a soft spot for Moto.
I do.
Came
but
out with a new phone.
Yeah,
this is their first flagship in over 2 years. So
come on, Mike. Just come on over.
I expect Mike to get it. Will, I'm with you.
Well, no.
Well, you watch my coverage, Mike. See what you think.
No, I'm actually looking into something else. So
okay, he's going to surprise us.
I won't say much. I won't say much. I can't. I don't. I'm shopping. Let me just say I'm shopping around.
I can't say much, but I love you.
So.
Oh, Mike, I thought you were done.
Done with what? You ain't getting out of me. You ain't getting out of me. You ain't getting out of me. I'll rather wait and have it all.
Mike, is that real way of trying to twist it out of you?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to come back to the sensible side and
listen to him.
Listen here.
Side.
My sensible is this is it right here. There's nothing else. Okay, there's no need for anything else.
Wait, what is that?
There's no need for.
What is that? What is that?
That was my SE, my 2020 iPhone SE, which is still
like a charm. Yes.
See, I wish I got. I might have if I use. I'm using it a little bit more at work. I might have to get a battery pack for it.
Yeah, the 11 is highly worth it, Mike. Remember, I had that for a year.
You had. See, George, if I'm going to get a new iPhone, it's going to be one of the newer ones with the. I like the OLED screen, so it'll be a 12 or a 13.
Yeah, I have the 12 Pro.
Yeah,
or 11 or.
Don't get the 12, Mike. Get the 13. The battery's better. Don't get the 12.
I'll tell you, Will. I was eyeing up an iPhone 11 Pro on the refurb site.
I would highly recommend the 11 Pro.
Who, Amy? Yeah, me too.
The 11 Pro.
A teenager. I worked with her.
On
we worked in dietary.
Was it the Apple site? They had it for 256 gig for like $800, which ain't bad.
It sounds like a good deal.
And it's an app. It's right from Apple. And I gotten their stuff before. I got my mom. Well, this is one time I tried to get mom over to Apple.
I know.
Yeah, I remember.
I got a tablet for her, and it was really impressive.
Yeah, but I think that's a good deal, and I would recommend that phone.
Mike, if you do it, you're not going to go back to being a beta tester.
How do you know he's not going to go back? I used both
because Mike is not going to do it.
Mike is just like me. He likes his iPhone, but he's an Android guy.
Man.
Mike, am I right? You like your iPhone, but you're an Android guy at heart.
I'm an Android guy. I like my iPhone exactly. And
you know what, George?
Go ahead.
You know what? Mike is. What I think is happening to Mike is he's saying, "Why do I keep doing this? Why can't I stop buying phones?
Well, he's trying to slow down on the phones, but
He's
I think
trying.
he's
Yeah,
always going to be
I-
an Android
yeah,
guy who likes
The only way he's
iPhones.
gonna lose the temptation is if he goes to iPhone.
I
With
disagree.
Android, there's a new phone every week.
Okay, but keep in mind he only is enamored with a few brands. The Moto we know he likes.
There's
the
only a few
Samsung we know
brands
he
left
likes.
of Android.
Yeah, there are only a few brands left.
There's
Yeah.
only a few
Well, I
left.
mean,
LG's gone.
Basically, Mike, the Moto, the Samsung, and the Pixels. I don't see you crazy for any other brands. Am I wrong?
What other brands are there? Mike isn't importing nothing.
No, I ain't doing the import. I did it one time, and that was that wasn't exactly imported, but I got a Xiaomi phone. I remember I gave that to my son. I got that from Jay Will.
Hey, I had a Xiaomi phone. It was very good. You know.
Oh, it was.
Mike
yeah,
loves
but-
changing the APN settings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's not a whole lot of fun.
Oh,
If I
man.
was to
And
get an
clearing the
iPhone,
cache. That's his favorite. Clearing the cache.
Oh man.
See, when I had my Xiaomi phone, I don't
Yo,
even
you know, Will,
It
you
was a
brought
great-
up
it
you
was
brought
a
up a
great
funny
phone.
subject. You guys, you got to hear this one. And Will's going to love this. So as I told you all that about, my nephew, breaking his Pixel.
Right.
My brother sends me a text message saying, "Hey, you got to come over and help me out. I can't seem to Liam can't get some of my messages because because we never had a chance to shut off the damn RCS on it.
Oh,
What's up?
So I'm going to have to go and probably go over there with an Android phone, load his account onto it, and then and turn it off. Yeah, turn it off. Yeah.
You know how to take the thing out? It's just tap water.
So that was
you just take the thing out and put tap water.
That was like, man, and again, I know if Will, okay, I'm going to say this because Will's just going to just go woo. If I know on iMessage, if you had a busted phone, I think you can turn off iMessage on a
you can
on a desktop.
Yes,
on a desktop. Yes, you can. Right, you can turn it off because if you busted your phone, I'm just saying, right?
Man, you can just turn it off.
He's working again. I can tell.
Yeah.
Just put tap water in there. And then
Brian is saying what you'd expect him to say.
And you just slide it back in.
Well, he's right about that.
Yeah, but Brian's like one of us. He's got an Android. Last time I talked to him, and Brian, tell me if I'm wrong. I thought you had an Android and an SE, the iPhone SE. So, yeah, let me ask you. Talk about the iPhone SE. Man, when the iPhone SE 3 came out, there was a lot of almost.
Everybody said, "Don't get it.
Don't get it."
Everybody said, "If you're going to spend the money, get an iPhone 11."
Yeah, but listen,
I agree with that.
wait. How can you? Yeah, but George, listen. Nobody that's on YouTube making a video, if they're not a user of that phone, how can you say that? Because the phone isn't for everybody. That phone is for the person who.
The guys who were
it?
reviewing it was saying, you'd be better off getting an iPhone 11.
I want to say it's almost hate for the damn thing.
No,
there's hate.
George. They're saying that because they're tech people. The average person who doesn't want to get rid of the button, they don't care if Apple recycles the same design 50 times. They don't care.
But you don't think the iPhone 11 is a better phone than the SE3?
George, you're not listening. It doesn't have a button.
I'm just asking you a question.
It doesn't have a button. That phone is
the button could be a sticking point for some people.
Design. They want the design, the size.
Missy is saying something to you.
People keep saying don't get it because they want it to be the most futuristic, whatever.
She doesn't like those big bezels, and a lot of people were saying that about the big bezels too.
About the bezels and stuff.
But they're tech people though.
Oh, without a doubt. You see, but this is where we have these.
That phone is
these
marketed towards regular
about
people who just want a phone,
right?
And they want the button.
Wait a minute. Can I say it? Will, can I say it? Average consumer. Okay.
There you go.
I know that tweaks that somewhat tweaks Juan a little bit, but
Juan hates that phrase.
But two is,
and this is the thing, that phone doesn't have to sell now. Like everybody's like, oh, they're not selling.
Yeah,
Wait till the phone.
But
Wait till the phone drops.
Apple cut them back from making more
Yeah,
too.
but
Yeah, but
George, wait until the
Christmas.
Metro and all
oh, they
those
got 'em now.
carriers
Yeah.
get that phone. It's gonna sell
Did
like
you
crazy.
see? Wait a minute. Will, you see? I saw on Visible. You can get that phone, $200 gift card, and iPod 3s.
AirPods.
AirPod, yeah,
AirPods.
AirPod 3s, $200 gift card on Visible. So
how
basically, you're going to get half your money back. No, right? In saying that,
Maybe I'll get that for my kids.
yeah, on Visible. Here we go. Here we
don't care
go.
about
Poor Google Fi is going to get raped right now. Because he's going to be going,
right?
I'm going to get a number, and 5 minutes later, I'm going to pour it out.
You already know.
And that's the other thing. Miss C is saying she not before 25. That's the other thing they were saying.
See,
this one costs more than the last one. $30 more.
Are you serious, George?
Hey, everybody said you're going to spend $30 more basically to get the same phone.
George.
If you really want
to, George, wait, listen.
Oh, this is going to be good, George. Hang in there.
I don't even know how much the Samsung whatever they just came out with cost, but
Who?
Whatever the Samsung is, they just came out with.
The A53?
Whatever. What's the Samsung? No. The S20, whatever. What's that one? S22 they're on now?
Yeah, on the 22, yeah.
Plus, so I don't have the Ultra, though.
How much is the S22 Ultra?
Oh, it's like $1,200?
Yeah.
And how much was the what was it, 20 Ultra? Who was that? Who was the one before this one?
21. Usually it's out of numbers.
That was also $1,200.
Oh, okay, so they kept the price the same. Give Samsung some points. But anyway, $30 ain't no big money to
$30 isn't
over.
Yeah.
What these people were saying
the phone is going to be good
it's
for
not
the next...
worth the $30. That's what they're saying. They said
so
get an
George,
iPhone 11. But I think you're right about the button. I think you're right about the button.
What is your option? If you want the button, that's your choice.
Yeah, I think you're right about the button.
Better chip and all that. You're getting better chip, 5G.
But like you said, the average person doesn't care about that better chip.
But the average person isn't going to care about the $30 either. They're just going to buy the phone.
No, they're not going to care.
They're not going to be like, oh, I spent $30 more. The phone's going to last you for 10 years, and you have your button. You don't have to worry about no new way
now
to use the phone. It just works.
Said this texts are much better, but she can't stand those bezels. But she
said,
like you said, for normal people. Yeah, nobody's going to accuse any of us of being normal. That's for sure.
If I buy my kids that phone in what colors they got, red or whatever,
red, black, and white,
bezel, none of that, because you got iMessage, you got FaceTime, you got Apple. What are we on now? 15.
Yeah, it's going to get the newest.
You're going to get iOS 23 probably. Like, I don't know.
All right.
It's just the tech people don't like it.
It's what and to Will's point, Will's right. Will's right.
Will's right.
They don't
tech. I always say tech reviewers are too finicky, too picky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like that. I never will.
Really, because they want the perfect device, like just to nitpick over.
That's
like
true.
Everybody
tech
keeps
people
complaining
nitpick
about
things to death. That's true.
Everybody's like, yeah, there's still bezels. Nobody cares really, because nobody's staring at their phone all day. Like, when did it become a?
I stare at my phone all day.
Well, you do, George. You're a tech person.
I mean, I carry two phones. I'm always looking at a phone.
That's like when people are like, the phone looks like a. What phone was that? They said it looked like a stove on the back. What phone was that? Was that Samsung?
Stove?
Or is that the iPhone? They were saying the camera layout looks like a stove. Like, who's stove?
Oh yeah, the iPhone was that way. Yeah.
How often do you look at it?
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? Hey, Will goes same thing. Why do we have colors? Because most of us are going to put a case on the damn thing.
That's what I always say about me. I said, why
the colors?
I pick a nice color? Because I'm always going to cover it up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with my S22 Plus,
the colors make sense.
I got a clear case, so you can see my color.
See? That's what I got, a clear case.
Yeah. So, but as beautiful as this Moto Edge is, and Will, it is pretty. You can see it here, but I'm covering it up with a gray case. So,
George, what's the new Moto that you just bought? What's this one that's supposed to be so great?
Moto Edge Plus. It's in my hand. It's on the screen.
What's good about it?
So far, the colors are awesome. Oh, and that it's better than Dex with your computer, according to TK and some gadget guy. It outdoes Dex.
Okay. So
That's a pretty
I
tall
didn't
claim.
realize Moto had this for a couple of phones for over a year, but I get it does a good job.
And what is it called now? There's a term. Don't they have a brand name?
Wait, it's in the it's right here.
Dang, I'm looking at this deal right now.
Ready
Mike.
for.
Ready for, yeah.
$429.
You can see ready for at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So $479 will get me 128 gigs, and I'll get $200 back and the AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And
is
then
it
you
a
can
choice?
wind up trying to sell them because you're
No,
going
I'll
to
give
have
them
too
to
many.
my kids. No, I'll give them
Yeah.
to my kids. Wow, that's a deal.
Let's see.
Ryan says 1 + 10 stove camera setup. Okay.
That's a good deal.
There's one says, is it wireless though? Oh, you asking me?
Here we go.
Mine has wireless charging. The Edge Plus does. Yes.
So I went in here and I'm trying to find something. I found here Mint Mobile. It says here iPhone SE 2022 6 months of free service with a device at Mint Mobile. iPhone is at Walmart, and you can get a little $7 a month. Not technically offering enhanced deals. No, AT&T. No.
I see saying that's at Visible. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good deal. Oh, that's white. Look at that. That white is nice.
Yeah. Apparently, Apple has a trade-in program. You can trade in to get an SE also.
Maybe I can trade in their phone.
Yeah, they'll trade in their phone.
Yeah, but they're not going to take their phone. They'll probably give me $5.
No, somebody told me.
No, you probably make more money.
Somebody told me that trading was better this time. I can't remember.
No, they only have a 7 Plus. They're not going to give me money for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's old.
But I wonder if here, maybe I got to rephrase this. Maybe I can see. I bet you got. Wait a minute. Let me do port in. Yeah, I bet you they're pretty much giving away the phone to get people to switch carriers.
Days I haven't used it yet, but yes, it is.
Holy smokes! Hey, Will, check this one out. When you purchase an iPhone SE at Xfinity and transfer or port your number, the carrier will give you $430 back.
Xfinity Mobile?
Yeah.
If you port in. Xfinity is Comcast. Why would you do that?
No. Well, it's
because
really
Xfinity
Verizon.
is Comcast.
George, that's who I have now. They're fine.
Comcast is the most hated company in America and deservedly so.
George, it's a different thing.
It's not a different thing. They only came up with Xfinity because their reputation was so bad they wanted the new generation to not even think Comcast. That's why they came up with Xfinity. They're still the same scumbag company they've been off all these years. They haven't changed a bit.
It's not for TV. So you have a choice. It's not like you're forced into it. It's different.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Once we got a choice down here in Chattanooga, everybody jumped off that bandwagon. Trust me.
So I was on Visible for how long was I on Visible, Mike? For a couple of years. So I switched to Xfinity, and my phone bill is $20 more. But if I have a problem, I can pick up the phone and call them. And
that's the worst customer service in America. Oh yeah, Comcast.
Not
that's
their mobile.
Visible.
If you pick up the phone for their mobile, they pick right up. It's wonderful, especially compared to Visible. That $20 is definitely worth it.
Comcast upgraded the network. My Wi-Fi stopped working. Both times they had to send somebody out to fix it and charge me $25 both times, even though it was their fault.
That's TV, George, or TV though.
That was Wi-Fi.
That's Wi-Fi. It's still not the phone. They don't have no control over the thing. It's just Verizon. Look at AT&T. They had an outage the other day, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Brian saying the SE 2020 will drop. I don't see them.
I don't think it'll drop.
I don't think
the phone's a leader. The phone's a leader to get people in the door. And
73.
I'm trying to answer Miss E. Visible is a company that's owned by some fashion by Verizon, and the thing with Visible is if you get on a party plan, you get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month. Now,
When you
I
say
know
a
from
party plan, you mean paying the bill with a couple other people?
well, no, you're not.
George, it's not like you think.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
No, it's not like you think it is.
Okay. It's gotten so out of hand. Basically, they got where you get 4 people in a party and you get the group discount. The worst case scenario, the most you pay is 40. But the bill still you're still paying your part. Right, you don't have to know them.
So what? They'll hook you up with people automatically?
Listen,
yeah, there's
George,
a Facebook page
Mike,
for it.
Mike,
really?
when's the last time you've been on Visible?
I've never been on Visible.
You don't
I probably
even,
never
no,
will be.
no,
I don't think I ever
I'm
will
asking
be on
Mike.
Visible.
Mike,
What?
they don't even,
I'm not
you don't
on it.
even have to- listen,
My daughter-in-law is on it.
anything. You don't have to do anything. When you sign up and you go to parties, they have parties there with 20,000 people right on Visible's page. You just click it,
and then you can hook up with who you want?
This way, they pretty much give it away.
They're giving it to you. Yeah, they're giving it to you.
Okay.
They make it easy. You don't even got to do nothing no more. But Comcast service has been excellent. Mike, let me tell you, did I tell you how hard it was for me to get off of Visible?
Yeah, I remember you were telling me it was they were giving me a hard time getting it off though.
It took about 3 days to get off of there. They kept saying the account number wasn't valid. Yeah, because Visible has no phone number. You can't call anybody.
Oh, okay.
You have to just text them or go on Twitter. Yeah, it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah, that's the trade-off with this is there's no real customer service.
Yeah,
I mean, heck, you're not even talking to somebody.
You're saying Visible is invisible. Okay.
No, it's invisible, all right. Yeah. But I mean,
like
it's if you, I don't know, I recommend somebody who's going to go long term.
It makes it hard for me to want to go back after dealing with that, for real.
But like Mike said, he'd recommend only use them if you're going to go long term.
I was on them for a couple of years.
Yeah, you were on a long time. I remember.
We were one of the early. Don't you think we were one of the early ones?
We were pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Behind you, yeah.
When we were on there, they didn't even have unlimited yet. I don't think. Did they?
No, I don't think so. No,
and they were unlimited. They didn't have 5G.
I came on right about the time they were allowing Android phones. Remember, they were iPhone only.
It was only iPhone, yeah.
Okay.
For a while, yeah.
It was only iPhone, and then they added like Samsung. I think a couple Samsungs. Yeah.
Miss E, that's the best time to always get a phone. Black Friday.
That's what Mike always does. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go.
All right.
You two have made the show great as you always.
That's what I said. The disruptors here. I was going to let you know ahead of time, but I'm like, oh nah. I'm just going to come in and shake them up. I don't want to give you. I want to throw you.
All right, now, Mike. Then I want to promise from you. If you're not going to let me know ahead of time, don't come and tell me you told Will 2 weeks ago or something.
What?
Oh no. I just he didn't tell me until
no. I called. About the only thing that he knew was 20 minutes beforehand to let him know. I didn't know if he was home or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he texted me and said I might go on with George.
What's this now? Musketeers thing? No, you don't want.
No,
let me tell you, Missy. Missy, if I start singing, the dogs and the cats are going to howl. Okay.
Come on, Mike. Sing a song. Sing out loud.
Oh, no.
Now you just say, la, 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 la. There you go.
La, 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 la.
I got him to sing.
Oh, my God.
Brian,
Will, don't do it, Will. They're going to throw you out. You're out there.
Brian donated $1 for your singing. You see that? he said 3 Musketeers super chat. Thank you, Brian. All right, guys.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Hey, you guys have a great Easter.
Yes, you do the same. Yes,
and all of you that joined in, thank you very much. Thank you, Renz. Thank you, Brian. Who else?
As always, retweet and share and what do you call that? Replay crew. There we go.
And by Monday or by the Sunday night, I will. at least put out a short video of the two hacking things. So
Mhm.
I'll just pull this out of this video and I'll put that up just in case anybody needs to see it. So
George,
Okay.
one more
everybody,
thing.
have a
How's your
great
Switch?
weekend. If you celebrate Easter, have a wonderful Easter. If not, just have a blessed weekend.
How's
All right,
your
guys.
Switch, George? Your
See ya.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I love the Switch.
Ah, okay, great.